a couple weeks ago, there were still Christmas trees waiting to come into the harbor.
Trans-Pacific shipments are facing major delays as dozens of ships are idling off the U.S. West Coast, waiting for their turn to dock at the largest seaports in Southern California.
Essentially, we've got so much goods coming in the country that we cannot physically handle them here at the ports of LA Long Beach. And part of that is because of coronavirus-related impacts, a reduction in workforce due to positive tests.
Weston Labar represents the coalition of trucking companies that transport roughly 2/3 of all the goods that come in through the West Coast, making up nearly half of all goods shipped in and out of the U.S. He says the delays are not just because of the port's restricted capacity, it's also the retail industry trying to catch up with months of manufacturing losses during the height of the pandemic.
Then when June hit and into July, the floodgates opened up. That faucet of cargo turned on and we were overwhelmed. We went from a essentially dead period to some of the busiest cargo months that we've ever seen at the ports of Los Angeles and Long Beach.
Much of that pressure is coming from the changes we have seen in the consumer spending habits throughout the pandemic. At a time when people haven't been going out, eating at restaurants or traveling, much of their spending shifted to e-commerce. The pandemic seems to have driven up demand for durable goods such as appliances and consumer electronics, primarily coming out of China.
It's tumble dryers, it's washing machines, it's range cookers, it's fridges. So if we look at all the commodities that are driving the growth, they're all talking to a U.S. consumer who is at home and ordering stuff at Amazon, is not going out and consuming services.
Higher demand for goods transported by these ships has stretched port services to breaking point. For some companies, it more than doubled the cost of shipping in the past 6 months alone.
Freight rates for a 40-foot container have varied somewhere between $1,000 and $2,000 over the last 10 years. They're now up at $4,000.
The pandemic created such a global logjam in shipping that some shipping analysts say they see no end to it anytime soon. It is Tiyansan, CGTN, Los Angeles.